Hello, welcome to the Utah Puck Report. I'm your host, Jay Stevens. We're in season. It's time. We got to thank our sponsor, Larry H. Miller Toyota, for sponsoring the show and being such good hockey people. Right now, you can get a 2025 Toyota Tundra SR5 Crew Max, rates as low as 1.75 for 72 months. All right, today's guest, Nick DeSimone from the Utah Mammoth. Nick, what a great story. First off, thanks for being on the show. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
Um, Pretty crazy story with you, right? You've got a lot of AHL games. You've been able to play for a few different teams. But before we get into all that, can you just tell us a little? I know you're from New York, but can you tell us a little bit of your history and how you got into hockey?
Yeah. I have an older brother, Phil, who is 7 years older than me. He won't admit it, but he's 7 years older than me, and he played. He played University of New Hampshire. He played in the AHL and a bunch overseas. So I kind of grew up idolizing him. He's the younger brother that I just wanted to do everything he did. He probably hated it some days, but. Um, Yeah, so I had a great role model and somebody who, went through it before me. So kind of just somebody who I leaned on and kind of got all the ins and outs from. And him and my parents are, the two biggest reasons why I've made it as far as I have.
That's awesome. So, did your brother play in the NHL or was the AHL the highest he made it?
Yeah, he played in some preseason and in training camps, but he never played a game in the NHL. But a couple of years in the American League and then a bunch of places in Europe, and that was it.
That's nice. So it's got to be fun as the younger brother to make it to the NHL and rub it in his face a little bit. But did you get to go to some of those European places too?
No, no, I never did. I mean, I was always playing, so I got to a bunch of his college games and some games in the American League, but that was it. I don't really rub it in his face at all because uh, he's the reason why I'm here today. So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. Maybe when we're a little bit older, I can give it to him, but for now, I'm just thankful for him.
Yeah, I had the privilege of being around Zach and Jordan Parisi as they were growing up and seeing their like sibling rivalry of who was gonna go further, and that was kind of fun. But so you grow up playing and you play some juniors and you go to Union College. What was it like at Union College? It's not a traditional NHL route, I guess. I mean, you hear some guys coming from there, but what was it like when you were there?
Yeah, I mean, it was great for me. Um, kind of I mean, when I went there, I liked how it was a good program, kind of fit for me as in, we're not getting the blue chip guys that are going to the Minnesota, Michigan, and all that. But it was kind of guys like me who late bloomers and, maybe a touch older going into college, and kind of needed a little bit of time to develop. And I had a great coach there and Rick Bennett, who kind of, he was very old school and demanding, but he kind of turned me into a man and taught me, how to play the pro game. So it was great for me. I think another part of it was I wanted to go to school there as well as, I obviously, since I was younger, I wanted to play in the NHL, and that was always my dream. But my parents and had a lot of good people in my life saying that, try to pick a good school as well. And luckily I was able to pick a good hockey program as they won the national championship the year I went in, and Gothelsphere was there. So it was kind of, a program that was picking up some steam and also good academic as well.
Yeah. What did you study while you were there? What's your degree? Did you get a degree or did you just have a focus?
So that's the kicker. I was in economics, but I actually left early. So um, I won't get a degree from Union, unfortunately, but I'm about 6 months away from getting a degree. So we're still working on it.
Very cool. Glad to hear that you're still working on it. I want to talk to you a little bit about. I mean, you've had a great career. You've been in the AHL for a long time. I'm looking at your numbers and I'm just blown away. And then I see you go from you were with in the San Jose Farm Club, and then you end up in Calgary's Farm Club, and then get pulled up to the NHL. At any of this time, were you watching all the like the drama that was going on between Arizona and Utah and the team moving? Had you been kind of keeping an eye on that, or was it just something in the background?
I mean, I think just being in the game and playing in the AHL and NHL, you know all the kind of the head storylines are going on. So I mean, obviously, I was never in Arizona or anything, but um, just heard the rumors of moving and whatnot, and then obviously when it comes out, you hear about it, and it's exciting to hear about that kind of stuff around the league, and obviously it's worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it's worked out well for us, but then, you're up with New Jersey, you get sent down, you have to clear waivers, and all of a sudden you get picked up by Utah. You immediately you pick up the phone and start looking through the roster and like, all right, where do I fit in? How many D are there?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think I've been picked up on waivers once before, so I think the shock factor might have not been there this time. I kind of knew what happens and what goes into it, and that you need to pack a suitcase and get on the road. But yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't know a lot was going on with Utah, and while I was in the East and they're in the West, so didn't really see them much. So no, I wasn't keeping up with day-to-day roster movements and whatnot. So I just came in with an open mind, and obviously figured that if they picked me off waivers, that there was, maybe some sort of need for me. And I just try to get here and settle in and do what I could to make an impact whenever I could.
Yeah, you step right in and you fit right in, and I've said this on the radio and stuff before when you came in. And to me, it blew my mind how well you fit in with this organization and how well you felt. What I've said on the radio is that you were exactly who we needed when we needed you. And you come in and your game's good. You put up decent numbers and like you fit that void so well. Are you just going game to game being like, I think I can really stick here?
Yeah, I mean, I think for a guy like me, I mean, everybody in the league in their own way, but um, you got to prove it every night. So, if you were good the night before, well, it doesn't matter when you wake up the next day. So, I think having experience under my belt and kind of having a up and down and all over the place career has taught me a lot. You know, I've learned a lot along the way that I know what my role is. I know what I need to be every day when I wake up, and some days are going to be better than others, but I know what I am. I know what I can contribute, and I just gotta try to bring it every night.
What is it? You hear people say that a lot. I know what I am. I know what my role is. I had an up and down career. When you look back right now, when you're like, okay, this is how I got here. How would you summarize like what you've gone through and how would you say what your career is besides up and down?
Um, it's a great question. A lot of adversity, a lot of learning, um, hell of a support system behind me, picking me up when I'm down, um, telling me I'm not that good when I'm up. So yeah, I mean, I've been through a lot. I'm sure I'm gonna go through more. Um, it makes me feel alive. It excites me. Some days, are better than others, but at the end of the day, I mean, I've said this before, whether or not I get to play hockey for a living, and if I told my, younger self that that's what I'm doing, I'd be pretty happy with it. So I'm very grateful for where I've been, what I've done, but I'm not done yet.
I love it. It's just one of those things, and I love that you talk about the support system to get there. We have guys on this show that had to really take a different path to get to the NHL. Utah's own Trevor Lewis and we Garrett Metcalf, and there's a few guys that we've had that were like, "Hey, I got cut the year before I got good," or I was almost like with Trevor, he almost got waived before somebody believed in him. But for us, like when a player like you comes into the organization and I watched you play, and like I said, you were exactly what we needed, and it makes it that much more special as a fan and as a broadcaster to see somebody like you come in and you're not taking it for granted. You appreciate it. And you tell your younger self that you're playing and you'd be proud of it. What would you tell somebody else who's 15 years old going into juniors right now? And like, what advice would you give to somebody right now?
First off, I thank you. I appreciate it. Um, I think I mean, I've got cut from just about everything you could ever think of in the hockey world. Not to, it made me better. It was probably good for me. I've had a different route than, everybody has their own route and length of time. Some guys arrive early or later. Um, I think for me, I always loved it and I always had fun with it. And, um, I think the more times I got cut, the more it made me work. So it's just, I mean, everybody goes through their own different kind of adversity. Mine was, just being told I'm not good enough. So that kind of put a chip on my shoulder that's, been there for a long time. And, it's something I wake up with every day and kind of have to prove it. So I guess to a kid who's 15, just, you're never as bad as you think you are. You're never as good as you think you are. So if you get cut, it's all right. Keep working hard, and if you're the best guy on the team, well, you better keep working hard because there's somebody coming for you.
That's awesome. It's it's just one of those things because a lot of days kids get cut from a team and their parents move them to another league or do something else, and they pretend like you got cut, but it was the coach's fault. It wasn't your fault. We're not gonna make you work harder. We're not gonna work on the fine tuning things. But then when you talk to somebody that actually made it, and I always go back to the Michael Jordan thing where he got cut as a freshman and he wanted to play, and he's like, I gotta work hard. I gotta remember what it felt like for my name not to be on that list at the end of tryouts. Um, Nick, one more question just about like during the off season, what made you sign with Utah again? What was I, surely there's other things going on and you're looking for the best place to fit. What made you come back to Utah and how have you liked it here since you've been here?
It's been great. I think coming here from New Jersey, I didn't know what to expect. I'd never been to Utah, and we hadn't been here on the road yet, so it was kind of my first time flying in. I played in Calgary for 2 years, so I guess kind of the climate and mountains and that kind of stuff it felt a little similar. Um, but yeah, just showing up and the way we get treated, I mean the fans are unbelievable. Playing a home game at the Delta Center is unmatched, and I think everything just from the top down from the organization, we just get treated so well, and not only that, but the families and how my wife gets treated, and it's really special, and it really makes you feel like a part of something. And then I guess moving to the hockey side, I just felt like I fit into Bear's system the way that he wants to play with pace, and I think skating is an asset, so I think I fit in on the ice. Guys are great. It just checked a lot of boxes for me and in my family. So I think that was just a pretty easy yes to come back here.
Outstanding. Well, I'm excited to have you. Like I said, I love the way you play. I love the fight it took to get you this far, and I think players like you should be more of an inspiration for these kids. I think you stand for a lot of good for what our fan base needs to see. And man, I'm looking forward to seeing you play this year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, that's Nick DeSimone, and that is the Utah Puck Report.